everyone, my name is Emma and welcome to the Tasty Table Healthy Cooking with Your RD. Most Americans do not get enough vegetables in their diet. So today I will be showing you how to increase your vegetable intake by blending and pureeing them. I'm going to start off with a traditional meat sauce with an added boost of pureed vegetables. And then I'll show you how to switch up your traditional smoothie routine with a fun, delicious green smoothie bowl. Let's start with the tomato meat sauce. I have a ground turkey here that I'm going to start browning. So this is 93.7 ground turkey. When you're choosing a ground turkey, you want to look at the first number, and that indicates the leanness of the meat. So 93 lean, 7% fat. So we'll just quickly chop this up so I can start browning. And for our vegetables today in the sauce, we'll be using onions and celery and garlic. These you can also puree, but I'm going to leave them in a diced form, so I'll go ahead and add them at the same time as the brown meat. The rest of the vegetables will be pureeing. So I have carrots here first that I've cut into large chunks, and then we're going to go ahead and easily steam them right in the microwave. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of water. And cover it with saran wrap. And then we can just pop that in the microwave for a couple minutes until that gets soft. And we'll do the same with our zucchini. And the green peppers. So I'm using green peppers, but you could use red peppers, orange peppers, any color that you'd like. And then we'll start our pasta too. So as a whole grain choice, I have this ancient grains, and you want to check the first ingredient to make sure that it is a whole grain. So our first ingredient on here says whole durum wheat flour. So that indicates that it's a whole grain. Go ahead and put that in. Give that a quick stir, and that'll take about 7 minutes to be al dente. Check on our carrots. Okay. So you know they're cooked through when you can put a fork right through and it sinks in and it's soft. Now we'll go ahead and stick our peppers in. Great source of vitamin A. Go ahead and pour that in so we can puree it. So if you just do little quick pulses, you'll end up with a grated carrot, and that's fine too if you like your sauce a little bit more chunky. If not, then you can just grind it until it becomes a puree. And you may need to add a little bit of extra water to puree it finer. I have about 2 tablespoons of water that I'm adding in here. So once that's reached your desired consistency, we'll go ahead and pour that in a bowl and set it aside. So this is what our end result looks like. We'll do the same thing, pureeing our peppers. Peppers are great sources of vitamins A, C, potassium, folate, fiber. because you can do this in huge batches in advance and just freeze them into little baggies like I've done here. So I did this in advance, and you can just do a bunch of these, keep them in the freezer, and then just pull them out whenever you need them. We'll steam the zucchini a little bit, but because it's already soft, it won't need to be cooked through too much. A lot of people think that zucchini doesn't have a lot of nutrients in it, but it really does. It's actually a great source of vitamin C, which is a really important antioxidant. And it's best during the summer months. Great to grow in the garden. Again, if you just chop it slightly, it'll end up with a grated texture. So some people do like to use this grated zucchini texture in things like zucchini bread. So our meat is almost done browning here. We'll go ahead and add our spices in. I have a couple of bay leaves, and then we have little spices. It's about a half a teaspoon of thyme, oregano, and basil. Put that in. And once the meat is mostly cooked through, we can go ahead and add our tomatoes in. So here, first I'm adding a diced tomatoes. This is Italian seasoned. And when you're choosing the canned tomatoes, you want to make sure you look for no salt added on the label. Next I have a tomato puree. And lastly, we have our tomato paste. And again, that's a no salt added on the tomato paste as well. So we'll go ahead and put that in. Stir that up. And then lastly, we can add in our purees. So the green pepper. And if you use a red pepper, it might blend in a little bit easier. It would match the color of the sauce. But the green pepper is a nice, pretty color. Our carrots. And then we have our zucchini. And that's about a half a cup of each of those purees. You can do more, a little bit less. And then once we have all our ingredients in, we'll let this simmer for about 30 minutes to an hour. You can also put this all right into the crock pot and let it cook for hours throughout the day, or you can prep this in advance, put it in a freezer bag, and pull it out to be cooked in the crock pot. But we don't have a lot of time here, so we're just going to do it for about 30 minutes to an hour. And the longer you let it simmer, the thicker it will get. Let's move on to our green smoothie bowl. As funny as it may sound, the latest trend with smoothies is actually blending them, pouring them into a bowl, and eating them with a spoon. So today, we have a green smoothie, so we're going to be adding spinach and kale for our green vegetables. We have frozen strawberries, and it's perfectly okay to use frozen. They're just as good as fresh. They pick them and they freeze them at the peak of ripeness, so they're actually very nutritious. And then we're using bananas. This is 2 bananas, and I previously froze them because it'll help with making our smoothie a little bit creamier. So with the smoothie bowl, they're prepared a little bit thicker than your traditional smoothie. And then the toppings, we'll be doing some toppings at the end, and they'll be left in their whole form. So that'll allow for slower digestion, which helps with your blood sugar control. Okay, so we'll just basically start by pouring everything in. I have about a cup of frozen strawberries. 2 frozen bananas, a couple handfuls of the kale and the spinach. You could do one or the other or both. It's up to you. I have about 1/4 of an avocado here, and then I have the ground flaxseed meal. You do want to make sure it's ground, that way your body absorbs the omega-3 benefits that flax seeds have to offer. So that's a healthy fat. Okay, we'll go ahead and put in our avocado. And about a tablespoon of the ground flaxseed meal. I'm also going to be adding almond butter. This is optional, but it will definitely increase the protein a little bit. You can use peanut butter or sunflower seed butter if there's allergies. And I'll be using the almond milk. This is vanilla unsweetened almond milk. This will help it blend. So we're going to start with about a cup. You don't want to put too much initially. Let's see how it blends, and then we can add more if we need it a little bit more liquidy. And you can also use regular cow's milk, you can use soy milk, which will add a little bit of extra protein, or any other version of milk that you enjoy. Go ahead and put that on. Okay, so it's perfect. It's very thick, but still thin enough that we'll be able to pour it right into the bowl easily. And this makes about 2 servings. So you can put 1 serving in the refrigerator and keep it in the refrigerator for about 24 hours. However, it will lose a little bit of its creaminess as it defrosts slightly from the frozen fruit. And now for the fun part, we get to add our toppings. And the possibilities are endless with what you might choose to add. But here I have some sliced strawberries, blueberries, a little bit of granola, unsweetened shredded coconut, and a little bit of hemp seeds. So you can add them on however you'd like. I'm going to make mine in a nice little design. I'll start with granola down the center. A little bit of blueberries on the side. And you can use raspberries, blackberries, sliced banana, any other fruit that you might have on hand. Hemp seeds, you can also use chia seeds or more flax seeds, or if you didn't put any flax seeds in the smoothie, they also offer omega-3s, those healthy fats. Hemp seeds. And lastly, our shredded coconut. And then I'll just add a little bit of a tropical flavor. Beautiful finished product. Smoothie bowls are a fun twist on the traditional smoothie. Just be sure if you're making it a balanced meal to add fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, and protein.